Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is the match reaction for our 1-0 victory away from home against Exeter over the weekend in what was a vitally massive 3 points, wasn't it? That we so desperately needed. You know what I mean? I think because of the fact we dropped the necessary points the previous weekend at home, and then, like I said, we'd be on this barren spell away from home where we've lost 3 on the bounce. We need to end that sooner rather than later, and thankfully we managed to do that in this one, which is really good. But people, I've got you covered in this video as I share my thoughts and everything from how I saw the game. And yes, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Before we do get straight into it though, make sure you do smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment your thoughts down below on what you made of this 1-0 victory too. I've got a funny feeling I know what you're going to say, because I've seen the reaction on social media over the weekend, and everybody's saying the same thing, aren't they? So yeah, and I'll be saying the same thing as well today, because it's pretty obvious, isn't it, what we saw on Saturday. But I'm going to hold that for a moment whilst we go methodically through. So yes, first things first, let's go through the starting lineup. I'm going to go through the headlines first of the lineup, and then I will go into the lineup in full in a moment. I'll put the lineup on the screen now as well. But a total of 5 changes made by Lee Grant in this one, as we obviously take on Exeter. Lee Nichols retained his spot in between the sticks as Goodman returns from his suspension. Jolo and Ryan Ledson were back into the starting lineup after both being rested midweek. Castledine and May also both started in this one as well. I was a little bit surprised to see Ruskin start, straight back into starting 11 after suffering that facial injury last time out against Burton, but also his performances, as I've already said it before, they haven't been the best. By the way, I'm reacting to the initial thoughts of the lineup. That's what I'm going to do. Obviously, I will go into the game and I'll give praise where praise is due, but that was my initial thoughts of it. Another returning from injury is Gooch, which was massive. It's great to see him back on the bench. Really fantastic news to see him back, wasn't it? And then the last bit of the headline was obviously young talent, exciting young talents. Cam Ashia, who kept his spot on the bench for a league game, which was really good. He's deserved it, actually. I've kind of been a bit confused why he's kind of been completely out of this picture since those cup matches. He's played regularly in the cup games, but yeah, he was just vanished for a few weeks, and it's like, well, what's going on here? Why have you just left him out to dry after bringing him into the first team and including him in a lot in the matchday squad? You just take him straight out. It's not really going to do him any favours. But look, he's back. He was back in this one, which was good. And he was also joined by fellow youngster Dan Vost, who featured midweek and has featured in the other in our run in the Carabao Cup, didn't he? And he's been a big part. He played a big part in that. And big up to Vost, by the way, who definitely earned his right to be on the bench in a league game after really impressing in the Carabao Cup, as I've said. I'm a big fan of them both, and I believe they both have big futures ahead of them, no doubt about it. And it's always nice, isn't it, to see academy players come through. Dan Vost, I remember watching Dan Vost, because sometimes I go down to the academy games and watch, and I've seen Dan Vost, grow up over the years, and, I always felt like there was something special in him. He had that special touch about him, when he had the ball in the games, in the academy games I watched. And yeah, I felt like he was going to go places. So look, he's come on leaps and bounds, and absolutely I am proud of him, as I am proud of Ashir as well, who is doing really well, and really exciting talent, both of them, aren't they? But the lineup in full then, before we get into the game itself, obviously, like I said, Lee Nichols started in goal, a back 4 of Sorensen, with obviously Lowe and Feeney in the centre back pairing, which I really happy with. Now I do like that partnership. On the left, left back Ruskin was there, wasn't he? Then the two holding midfielders of Ledson, the captain, and Kasumu, who again, I'm a big fan of Kasumu. I made no secret about that. And yeah, great to see him starting. Then also the more attacking midfielders further forward. Obviously, you've got the likes of Harness on the right. Leo Castledine on the left, and Wiles was in the middle, wasn't he? So yes, and then Alfie May started up front. Substitutes: Goodman, Wallace, Gooch, Taylor, Rowan, Ashier, and Vost. So yeah, I haven't even covered the injuries that we've suffered in recent weeks to Redmond and Alves, who have been ruled out for months. Both deadline day signings, and they're already out. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? Really frustrating and really annoying. But yeah, the injury issue, I might do a video about the injury situation again, because I'm just sick and tired of it now. We've had injury issues from last season where we had the most injuries ever seen, and it's carried on into this season. It's just getting ridiculous now. So something needs to happen there. But anyway, that was the lineup. So let's have a look at the first half then, because look, I actually think we actually started the game brightly, which is a change from what we've seen in recent weeks. We always start the game slowly, and it just carries on and on and on. But no, I thought we started the game really bright. Castledine looking very dangerous. Had a good start, causing a problem early on for Exeter. Just had a shot just out. Actually had a shot that just went wide in the air. I think it looked like a bit of a cross, but it went wide. But then, like I say, completely off the run of play, Exeter went up the other end and should have actually scored. Off the run of play, a glorious chance. They should have been 1-0 up at this point. Kasumu getting caught out in position, loses the ball with a ricocheted pass, tackle that fell to the Exeter player's feet. And obviously, then he immediately then clips it into the box over the head of Lowe, and it was taken down really nicely by the Exeter striker. Actually, I don't know what his name is, but yeah, 1-on-1 with Nichols, and the goal was gaping, and he somehow manages to put it wide of the left upright. I don't know how he managed it. So yeah, there was a early reminder as well in there that we can't switch off for any second, because if they get another couple of chances, they're probably going to score one of them, aren't they? So yeah, I thought that was a kind of a reminder to us. But look, then the goal came for us, didn't it? In the 28th minute, and what a beautiful goal it was, guys. Leo Castledine, or Castledino, as I call him, producing a moment of magic. Another superb goal for us. He got the ball just outside the box from a pass from Kasumu on the left-hand side. A few, put his foot on the ball, a few step overs, cut inside, and curled a shot right into the right-hand corner of the goal. What a goal. The ball does hit the post, but it tucks into the net. The technique, the skill, and the precision of the strike, so good. What a baller he is, guys. I mean, they say never fall in love with a lone player, but I think I've already done so with this guy. I think, what he offers, he gets you off your seat. He's an exciting player. He's not, and the only goal he scores seems to be a banger. He just seems to score bangers. That's the only goal he scores, and you can tell he's got such a special talent there. And I just think in the next few years we're going to be, I think he's going straight to the top personally. Maybe that's been over the top right now, but I do believe that he's going to have a fantastic career ahead of him. And I know a lot of people have been saying out there on social media that we should be looking to try and buy him if we go up to the Championship, but I just can't really see that happening, because I think the fee will be a lot of money. He's probably on a long contract at Chelsea, which is how they can, will bump the price up even more. And yeah, but look, I'd love him. I'd love to see him play, sign for us permanently. But it's if we get to the Championship, guys. That's the thing as well. So let's just focus on here and now, I guess, for now. But yeah, I mean, what a guy this is. He is just a brilliant player, isn't he? And yeah, I think that kind of goal really kick-started us even further. You know, I said we'd start the game brightly, but I feel like that goal actually kick-started us even further, and we started to, we continued to create chance after chance. We were all over them, and this is what you want to see. You know, the team creating chances. However, I think we can all agree the finishing has to be so much better, because we had multiple chances after the goal to finish the game. It should have been, 3 or 4-0 up at half time, in my opinion, 2 or 3-0 up at half time, and we failed to do so. But yeah, look, half time 1-0 to us, and what a goal it was by, like I said, by Castledine. That's the difference at the break. And I think, you know what I mean. It was this was actually the first game that we're actually ahead at the interval since the opening day against Leyton Orient. I don't know if anybody know that, but yeah. But look, I think we really started to pour the pressure on them in that first half, and obviously chances falling to the likes of Sorensen, Kasumu, and Wiles, but we didn't take any of them. And I kind of felt in the back of my mind at this point, I was thinking, I hope we don't look back to regret the missed chances come the full-time whistle, because we've seen this script before, haven't we? Where we've not killed the game off, and then we've just completely, we've conceded, and then we've conceded again, or we've just lost the lead, however you want to picture it. But we've seen this script before where it's happened many times. But yeah, I think overall the first half, I think it was good. Just need to be more clinical. But I think it was a really good half for us. The second half, look, I think we started the second half having to soak up a bit more pressure from Exeter, who enjoyed a decent spell of possession. Nichols was then forced into a huge save, which again, was a good save. A really fierce strike from the Exeter player to keep things, and Nichols came up with the goods to keep things level. But yeah, the hosts were definitely enjoying their best spell of the game, but Nichols was there to deny them the equaliser. We were having chance after chance still though in this half as well, and like I said, we just weren't taking any of them, guys. And the longer the game goes on, and you still sat at 1-0, it was nerve-wracking, wasn't it? But we were creating a lot of chances still, and I'll get up the stats at the end of this half after I've summarised it all. But we did decide to make a substitution in the 74th minute. Harness came off for Ashia, so good to see Ashia get back on the field in the league. Harness did very well, so fair play to him. But look, I think in the final of, we've just over 10 minutes left of the game, just fast forwarding a little bit now. I feel like we were really under the cosh at this point, and we were clinging on. So we were actually clinging on despite having so many chances. We were clinging on, which I just find unforgivable, really. However, we hadn't taken our chances, and now obviously, like, we just seem to be hacking the ball aimlessly away. And it was just coming straight back at us, Exeter looking for that equaliser. We did actually have another opportunity that went off the bar, short corner from May to Ashia, who then gives it back to Alfie May. May drives to the edge of the box, the ball, and fires a low effort in, and yeah, it's blocked but loops up and over the Exeter keeper and off the top of the bar. So that second goal just didn't want to go in, did it, for some reason? I don't know why, but it didn't. But look, 82 minutes on the clock at this point as well, and we make another change. Castledine, who, like I say, had a very good afternoon with the goal and just his overall performance. I just thought he was always wanting the ball, as he always does. We've seen it from the very first day we saw him. Always wants the ball, always looking to drive the defence, and always, and he's not shy of getting a shot away from distance. And yeah, just a top quality player. I just love him. But Taylor came on the final minutes of the game. And actually, Taylor had a big chance as soon as he came on. May slotted. I love that partnership between May and Taylor because we've seen it in the previous games where they've both been on the field, and I think wasn't it for one of the goals that Taylor scored a few weeks back at home? I can't remember now, but I remember May slotting in Taylor like he did in this game over the weekend, and obviously Taylor on the run should have done better, but he drags his shot low and wide across the goal. But he has to at least hit the target in this one, in my opinion, and put this game to bed, but he didn't. But another chance goes begging, and we're ticking close to that 90 minutes, but the more nerves are starting to get even more so now as the game, as you get closer to the full-time whistle. Below, we were really backed up against the wall after that, really. We ticked past 88 minutes. We all know the game should have been put to bed a long time ago, but it's still maximum points and a win if it was to stay like this, and it actually did, didn't it, in the end. But we made a double change in the 89th minute, though. Ledson and Wiles coming off for Vost, who made his league debut. Big up to him. Really, really happy to see him come on. And Gooch, who was good to see him back. But yeah, look, Vost, as I said earlier, brilliant to see one of our academy players get on the pitch. Vost, make his league debut for the first team. Fully deserves it. And I was really happy for him. And it was also good to see Gooch back as well after his latest injury, which has ruled him out for a few weeks. So it's good to have him back on the bench and actually come on for the final. It was 5 minutes in the end, wasn't it, with the injury time that was added on at the end. So yes, really, really good. And yes, 4 minutes were added on, and my nails were chomping at the bit, because I just didn't, I just felt like they were going to get a last minute equaliser. I just had a feeling in my bones, and thankfully that didn't happen, and we did see out the game, and it was 1-0 victory for us. And yeah, look, I think that first goal was worthy of winning any game. Let's be honest, Leo Castledine with that beautiful goal, as we get a really, really important win away from home to stop the rot of that 3 successive defeats on the road. But look, the headlines really is that the game should have been put to bed multiple times by us, as we created a handful of big chances to score. Each one came and just went begging, but luckily it doesn't come to bite us. It doesn't come back to bite us in the end. But yeah, it's one of those where we just need to kind of iron those things out and keep creating. I'm happy. If we keep creating those chances and keep doing it consistently. I'm not saying to the level that we did in this game, which I'll get the stats up in a moment, but I just mean, like, if we keep creating chances, then we will score goals in this league, as we've already proven already. So yeah, that's what I want to just see is keep creating chances, because the thing is, if we're not creating chances, we're not, we're hardly scoring. I'd be more concerned about that. But obviously, it's a concern that we were so wasteful in front of goal in this one. But yeah, obviously, maximum points did move us up 1 league position to 5th and just 4 points from the top. More importantly, though, like I said, we did put an end to that 3-game losing streak away from home. Just what we needed. Because the longer that went on, it was just going to be more and more problematic. So it was good that we managed to stop that here and there now and then over the weekend. So, yeah, and look, man of the match for me has to be Leo Castledine. I think he oozes quality when on the ball and now shown multiple times that he can find the back of the net in unbelievable circumstances. And yeah, other special mentions, I have to give it to Feeney. Feeney did what he needed to do, class. Look, Feeney hasn't put a foot wrong since he's been in the side. I really am a big fan of his, and he looks calm, composed, and just looks comfortable on the ball, and good aerially as well. he's just an all-round brilliant defender, isn't he? Along with and like I said earlier, I like that partnership with Lowe. I think they complement each other really, really nicely. So yeah, really big mention to him. Honourable mention to Sorensen, who yet again performed well in this one. I think we are seeing some consistency now in his performances. But let's see it continue. Nichols obviously made a huge stop to deny an equaliser. If you remember, when I was going through the game. So yeah, that was a big moment in the match. If that would have gone in, then it could have been a turning point. But I think everybody played well, by the way. But I just thought that we just mentioned a few players, the man of the match award and everything else. And there's a few just standout players that play. I thought Kasumu had a brilliant game, to be honest with you, overall as well. But yeah, just a few mentions there of players. But every player did very well, by the way. So I'm not singling anybody out. I thought Ruskin had a better game. Ledson was a lot better than what we've seen in the past. Lowe's just Joe Lowe, Joe Lowe, Mr. Reliable, and he's just at a brick wall in there, isn't he? In my opinion, I just love him. And yeah, like I said, I felt Wiles was having chances, but yeah, Harness did a lot better, like I said earlier. Ashia did well when he came on as well. Vost, helped to see out the game. So look, the really class performance, wasn't it? And I have been critical of Harness over recent weeks, and rightly so, to be honest with you. But one thing he does continue to do well is his press. He's been, he has been effective again in that part of his game, and obviously he did cause Exeter issues throughout the game as well as doing the press as well. So we need some productivity in his play, but he does always press. You don't put a player in the sideline just to press. You need to see something about his game as well. So now we got that in this game against Exeter. Let's see if he can build on that. But look, the match starts. Let's get it up quickly before we end. I don't like going too far into half an hour or whatever, because people may lose interest. But I have a lot to say of these games, and you know what I mean. I just like to summarize it in my own way rather than kind of shorten it down completely. But though the match starts, look, I mean, this kind of shows how dominant we were really in terms of shots had. So we had more possession, but again, it doesn't really matter that, does it? It's about what you do with it. Shots though, we had 22 shots with one on target. So look, come on, you know what I mean? That's not acceptable, is it? You know what I mean? Yes, we won the game. I'm really happy about winning the game, but we can't hide away from the fact that that's what happened in the game as well, with the amount of chances we wasted. And some of those shots that we had, yeah, some of them were long distance ones, but quite a lot of them were golden chances that we should have taken. So yeah, I think we need to maybe work. Well, no, maybe. I think some shooting practice throughout this week will be very, very beneficial to get ready for our next league match next weekend against Stockport, because we won't have as many chances in that game. I think we all know that. Yeah, they had 12 shots and 3 on target, so their shots on target were better ratio than ours because of the map. But anyway, the reality is the only thing that matters is the scoreline. But I'm just saying that we do need to be more clinical. Now, I also thought, just to finish with, I actually thought I kind of scroll on social media. I actually saw the stats of how Grant started in his first 10 league games compared to last season under Michael Duff, and I thought it was interesting to kind of see that now we're at the 10 game mark. I'm going to put it up on screen now, but Lee Grant's first 10 games, he's obviously 10 played, won 6, drawn 1, and lost 3, and obviously we've got 19 points now. And Michael Duff's first 10 games played 10, we know that, won 5, drawn none, and lost 5, and his points tally was 15 at this stage of last season. So Grant is actually obviously 4 points better off with, you know what I mean, we have lost less. We've obviously we've won we've won one more under Grant as well at this stage. So, but we have got a draw in there as well. So, which we should have won the game last week, not last week against Burton, the week before. But yeah, look, overall, but I thought that would be interesting to kind of put that out there for you guys. But yeah, overall, happy that we got the win, of course. Really, really good to stop that away rot of 3 successive away defeats in a row. And yeah, we move on to the next game, and we have to go. We need to try and go on a really strong winning run now, don't we? And try and get up that league table as much as we can closer, and try and get ourselves in that top 2 as well in the coming weeks. But look, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What you made of the game, and I appreciate anybody that stayed right until the end. But yeah, big up to you all, and thanks for your support. And there'll be many more videos to come this week, including obviously League One predictions are back this week after missing last week, and I'm going to do another video tomorrow. The predictions video will be out on Wednesday night. And then yeah, and then we've got the preview show to finish the week on Friday with Mike. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all very soon, and thanks for watching. As always, up the town, Lee Grant's Barmy Army, as we get back to winning ways and stop that rot on the road. Big up, and I'll see you all soon.